Oh, hey. What's up, guys? How's your day going? My day's okay. It is hot here in Los Angeles. I also live in the Valley. So if you know LA, you know it's even hotter in the Valley. Anywho, today I'm going to be getting into the Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 7. Get ready for the title. Who gonna check on me, boo? I would not be surprised if they came up with these titles and were like, we need to get Sheree back. These titles are too good. Let's call her. So, yeah. Before we get into it and before I get my guest on here, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss a video. And also like the video and, go the extra mile. Leave a little comment. Oh, something like, I'm just throwing ideas out there. Oh my God, Emily, you look so skinny. My name is Emily, and I have been watching Bravo TV as a form of self-care for over a decade. Needless to say, I'm a complete mess. Subscribe and follow along for painfully insightful recaps about Bravo, true crime, and other great TV. Hit that bell. Hi, Kendrick.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Now I can't be normal because I'm forcing myself to be normal.
Right. It's hard. It's really hard.
It is hard to be normal. It's like for her, I'm like, Kendrick, be natural. And then I'm like,
right.
Hi. We both posed.
Hello.
Hello. Is this how we talk now?
On the YouTube out there.
This is how YouTube people do it.
Yes.
I when I did my intro, I talked about, did you catch the title of this episode?
Oh no. And you know what? You would think that I would look every single time afterward, but I don't think I looked this time.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Who gonna check on me, boo?
That's right. Okay, yes, I did look. Yes.
I swear,
Yes.
like Sheree, as soon as Sheree came back, they're like, I have so many good title ideas, you guys.
Right.
Like they were like, oh my God, I've been waiting years.
I'm like episode 9 is going to be spring, summer, February or something like that.
Oh, I can't wait till the She by Sheree like fashion show, because that they have had like notes in their phones of like all the fun title ideas for like when
yes.
Sheree comes back.
Oh, they're going to throw it back to like show a clip of Dwight being like, a fashion show with no fashions? How dreadful. Like, we're going to get the whole thing now that we're actually getting a fashion show with fashions. Like, I can't wait for it. It's going to be like nostalgia at its best, and I'm ready.
They are so excited. They're like, this is fun for us too, you guys.
Right.
This is fun for us because we get to go into the archive of footage and pull it all out.
We love a good archive.
We love
a good archive.
We love an archive piece, as Marlo liked to say.
Yes.
So, okay. I'm going to throw a ton of shade at Drew. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have to.
I'm totally okay with it. I love shade.
When this woman walked in, I swear she was like out running errands and had no intention of coming to this event. And then was like, you know what? I'm going to go. And it's like, she had not an outfit on for filming. She didn't even have any powder on her because she walked in looking a mess.
You know what? I kind of love it because who was it? Oh, Dubai. Caroline Stanberry on the newest episode just didn't bother to come to Lisa's fashion show. And it's way too early for you to be skipping events. But 2, I hate a housewife that isn't a team player. Like, get out of here. But I love that, like, Drew thought about not go. In my mind, she was always going to go. But, like, I feel like she was like, I'm not going to that. But then, like, she was with production and she's like, oh, I'm absolutely going to that. And I'm going to show up late so I don't have to cook. And I'm going to go up and eat all the food and talk bad to her mom. Like, it's going to be great. Y'all are going to get a hell of a scene. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Because she timed it for exactly when they were done cooking. Like,
right.
And we're done cooking. We're putting things in it. And she's like walking in.
It was literally like Chopped Atlanta. Like, they literally plated the food for the judges. And then, like, Drew showed up the judge like minutes later.
Because let me tell you something. Could someone have been like, Drew, you need some powder? It was making me crazy.
I know. It's so like the Atlanta women, especially every time they're on camera, it is like glam for the gods. So like it's so noticeable. Like in everyday life, we have never noticed like that Drew didn't have on like blush or like whatever. But this scenario is like, oh yeah,
especially since she was walking in to be so shady and passive aggressive. I'm like, you cannot walk in here to be shady and passive aggressive looking like this.
Right. That's true. It did, but you know what? It almost kind of looked like she was in like army fatigue in a way. Like she came like combat ready almost. I'm like, the symbolism isn't lost on me. I see what you're doing here.
She did have like army cargo pants on with like cargo boots. If like it had an army homage to it.
The hair was straight. You know, when the hair is flat iron, you can do anything. You know, you don't want to mess up your curls or your high pony or anything like that. No, but the straight flat iron, you're good to fight. Yes.
And so Drew comes in and is immediately passive aggressive. She is so passive aggressive. She's like, I decided to come because you invited me. You didn't uninvite me. I'm supportive. I'm like, oh my God. She because passive aggressive is very hard to handle because it's coming at you in such a nice package that you're kind of not allowed to react, but you're like, I know what you're doing.
Right. I see through you. I see it. I have a hard time like dealing with it, but I also am like, it's kind of really weird because like I have a hard time dealing with passive aggressive people, but also I'm like the king of passive aggression when I need to be. It's like, especially mostly at work though, because like I'm like,
that's a good place to use it.
Yes, I feel like it's more than acceptable there because you know I feel like people wake up on a Monday morning and until they log out on Friday, they are ready to try you from start to finish. Try you. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. That's what we're not going to do. So yeah, but Drew, a whole lot of passive aggression. Both of them though are weird. They have both of them have the worst communication styles like on the planet. So
ever.
Like, this is a recipe for disaster, like from the word go.
It really is like the combination of the two of them is never gonna work.
Never.
So Sanya busting out her gold medal though.
Yes.
Drew has every reason to throw shade about it, but also like I love that it doesn't bother anyone else but Drew.
Right.
Like Kenya kind of loves it and Kandi kind of loves it. But those are the people that Drew's like, you don't see Kenya bringing her crown. You don't see Kandi bringing her Grammys, but they're like, oh, I'm here for it. I don't mind it.
And by the way, we've absolutely seen Kenya with a tiara and a scepter at multiple times during this show. So, and I think we've seen her Grammy, Kandi talk about how many Grammys she's had. So, I mean, we listen, if nobody likes to toot their own horn, the women of Atlanta historically love to toot their own horn. So very in keeping. Sanya, you fit right in.
Exactly. As we see moments later.
Yes.
Now, I have a question. When Marlo won that award she puts it on Marlo only for her to just like have it on for a few seconds, right?
Right.
Okay, I thought so. I was like, so she just gave it to her like, you won, so you can put it on your neck. And then Marlo's
we'll get a picture.
Here you go, Kandi. And I was like, that was it.
Right. We'll get a picture. Like, we're all good now, but I need those back immediately. Okay.
I was like, wait, she didn't just give her a gold medal, right?
Right.
Oh, okay. So you got to touch it to your body?
Right.
Thanks. That was a weird thing. I thought she maybe like did a replica. No, she just, you're welcome, Marlo.
Right. That's all you get. You don't get to like, hone in on that. No, you just get to kind of be in its presence for a little bit. You get to soak in the aura of the Olympic medal. Maybe you too one day can aspire to the Olympics, but you can't now.
Olympic gold medal. No one's getting that in this group.
No. I was confused. I honestly, it gave me a little bit of anxiety when she pulled it out. Because I was like, is she about to give this to someone? Like, what is happening? Like, what is actually going on right now? Like, even Michael Phelps has like 1 trillion Olympic medals, but I don't think he's giving any away to anybody.
I was so scared too. I was like, no. She is not going to give someone a gold medal. And then she didn't. I was like, so then why did she bring it? It was all very strange. It
was really like this. She was talking to her cast members like, it's my gold medal. But honestly, she wanted to do like this to the camera. It's my gold medal. I won. I'm a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. Don't play with me. That's what she wanted to do. I read between the lines, Sanya. I see you.
And it is absolutely something to be incredibly proud of.
Absolutely.
We won 4 times.
Right. Absolutely. That's
crazy.
Yours.
That is yours. No one's taking it away. So yes, you've earned the bragging rights.
Were those, because she only mentioned the year 2012, are all of hers from the same year?
Oh, wait, I don't know.
I'm going to look that up.
She did say 2012, and that's it. You're right. She did only say 2012. So yes, that's maybe. Crazy.
Because she said, I forget who she said it to, but she said it to someone that she has other Olympic medals, but she only mentions the gold ones.
I don't blame her.
Right.
Because once you get a gold one, you're like, the rest are obsolete. Which is crazy to think, because even getting a bronze, you're like, what?
Right.
Hearing someone even just went to the Olympics is crazy to me. Because like to train to go to the to qualify to go to the Olympics.
Forever. I can't imagine anything that I'm good enough at to go to the Olympics. And like there was like maybe like a sleeping competition or a TV
watching
show. Yes, binging.
We could content creators could win that hands down.
Oh yes. I don't need to we have Uber Eats and like food delivery service now. I don't need to go anywhere. Like, what do you mean? My perfect weekend is me getting off my like computer at 5 o'clock on Friday, sitting on my couch and not moving until Monday morning at 8 a.m. That's a wonderful weekend. The temperature in my house is turned down to like 68, 67.
Ooh, yes.
It's good stuff.
And then looking on Instagram at other people doing things.
Right. Like, oh, I love that for you. That's amazing.
I'm like, look at like the Bravo celebrities out doing things. I'm like, oh, look at them doing things. So
like, oh, I love
cute.
that. Oh my God, you're scuba diving? What? And there's like a lake behind your house. What? You're scuba diving? I wouldn't, but okay, that's nice.
That's nice. I'm on episode 28.
Right.
Of my viewing. So Sanya goes, she really like subtly pokes the bear, but thinks she's not. So she goes, I'm glad you made it, Drew, because I've been trying to talk to you for a little while. I'm like, okay, well, you knew by saying that was gonna. And then so Drew makes the face. She goes, I'm confused. Wait, I'm confused. And when were you trying to talk to me? When you were getting your makeup done by Artez for free, and Kenya catches it. She's like, "Oh, some slick shade." Here's the problem with Drew is she can't own it. She's like, "I was not being shady."
You can't, like, if you're gonna throw shade with the professional shade throwers, you got to be ready to like own it when you do it. Like, they're not gonna. That's like Married to Medicine, Potomac, and Atlanta. You have to, like, if you're gonna be throwing shade, you have to be prepared to like own it when somebody calls it out, because they're not seeing it as like someone else, like Beverly Hills might say, oh no, you're being passive aggressive or you're gaslighting when you act like that or something like that. No, they like, bitch, you being shady. Like we see that. We see you. I do it, so I know it. Like,
and
I know
they
what
enjoy
you're doing.
it. Like they're like, woo, that was fun. Like it's like a game and they're all having a good time with it. But Drew can't, she's like, what? No.
Right.
No. But then I like how she's like, did you pay him? It was $25.
And then in the same breath, I think she said, I paid him for you. It's like, well, why did you ask if she paid, like if you did it for
$5?
Oh my God.
Like, it was not like it was a whole $250. It was $25.
Both of them are raggedy in this situation because Drew won for bringing it up and it only being $25. But then Sanya's response was pretty raggedy too, because she's like, did you send me the invoice? It's like,
you could have paid him right there. Like, give me your Venmo. I'll Venmo you right now. Like, it's 25. Boop, bloop, bloop, bloop. Done.
The 4-time Olympic gold medalist does not need to put a $25 makeup session on layaway. Like, you got it.
Thank you.
You got it.
She's like, did you give me his contact information? I'm like, for what? Like, pay him. You probably have $25 in your purse.
Right. Just give it to him. It's all good.
What are you talking about? But like, for Drew to be like, did you pay him? Huh?
Right.
Wow. I'm like, okay, guys, this is embarrassing. This is very embarrassing. But then Drew starts doing the thing that you should never do to someone when they're getting irate. She's like, breathe. Breathe. I'm like, uh-oh, this is bad.
How dare you try to calm me down right now? How dare you? That's literally like in real life. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. If I'm pissed off about something, and I literally like am just wanting you to listen and me be pissed off, don't give me like practical solutions and niceties and all this. No, I want to be pissed off right now.
Yep.
Don't give me that shit.
I hate when people do that too. It's just rude.
Right. It's rude. How dare you try to cheer me up? I want to wallow.
This is an illogical point in time that I'm allowed to have. Like, don't say something like, calm down. Especially don't say something like, it'll all be fine. I know.
Right.
I know. I've been alive long enough. I know it'll all be fine. It'll all work out.
This is the thing I've been complaining about literally for 20 years. I know it's going to be okay. It's been okay the past 19 times. I'll be okay. But that still doesn't mean I'm not mad about it. Gas is high. It's going to be okay because I got to pay it. But I'm still mad about it.
Jesus, people, I swear. You know, it's so dismissive when they say that, really.
Right.
It'll all be fine. No shit. I'm aware of that. But I'm mad right now.
Right. What you should do is, when I'm pissed off, match my level of pisstivity.
Yes.
And then let us be pissed together. That's a bonding moment. That's a bonding moment. Right there.
Is. I do that because I do that for my friends. I get right up there with them and I'm like, yes. And let's go up here. Because sometimes what it does, it actually helps your friends sometimes realize how ridiculous they're being.
Right.
They can see how ridiculous you're being. And then they're like, okay, we can both calm down. I'm like, okay.
I'm like putting my shoes on. I'm like, no, let's go find it. Let's go find it. Let's find it. Like, okay, no, we're doing too much. Like, oh, okay. Okay. All right.
I see. I do the exact same thing.
I'm like, I'm back. Let's bring it down. I'm back. Okay.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing, Kendrick. And it always makes my friends realize like, oh, wait, I need to take it down. I'm like, whatever you want.
Right. Whatever you want, it's all right.
And it's kind of like, it's not intended to be reverse psychology, but it kind of is. It's sort of like, hey, whatever you want to do. And they're like, wait, I don't really want to do that. I'm like, okay.
Right.
I'm down.
I really just want to sit and eat Jenny's ice cream on the couch. Like, that's it. That's all I wanted to do.
You bringing up Jenny's ice cream again? I'm gonna smack you.
I know. I'm like a Jenny's fool right now. I feel like every time I watch TV, I see like Jenny's or look on Instagram. I'm like, oh my God, Jenny's.
It's because we said it now, and like our phones heard it, and they're like, ha ha.
Isn't that the craziest? Like, I literally like I feel like I thought something the other day, and like I saw an ad for it on Instagram. I was like, oh, okay, now I can't think anymore.
I don't like that. I hate when that happens. When you think something and it comes, I'm like, oh, right.
Like, okay. All
that
right.
is scary.
Don't like it.
All right. So now Drew's like, breathe, communicate how you feel. And so Sanya's like, your business doesn't make sense. You're not being honest. And so again, we're like, what?
Right.
We're trying to follow you. But then Drew lists out issues and I like wrote them down. I was like, okay, let's follow. Drew actually has issues here. These
right.
She brought up issues that in front of the group. She's like, I'm mad that you brought things up in front of the group. That's legit. Fair.
Yep.
You uninvited me to the photo shoot. Fair. That's not cool. But then Sanya she starts to explain. She's like, look, it seems like she's apologizing. She's like, I try to be sensitive with how I communicate with you. But then Drew goes, and that face makes Sanya so mad. She's like, Drew, I can't stand when you make that face. And it makes her mom her mom's like, don't make that face.
Yes. Have because I feel like we like follow a lot of the same people probably on Instagram. Have their videos started? You know how you see like a random video and it's like, you want to follow this person? Like just a random TikTok or not TikTok, a reel or something like that. And it just appears on your feed. her parents have started popping up because apparently they have their own like.
Shut up! They haven't popped up on mine yet,
and they've got like I feel like it was something like high five figures, like maybe 70-something thousand followers.
Good for them.
Oh, right, like they're a fly couple. So I get
they're funny.
Yeah,
she was like, "Don't make those faces." Like, Lou was like, "Be respectful," because Drew does make the rudest faces. She's like, "I can't help the way my eyebrows move," and she's just like, she just makes those faces. She's just. But then I love.
Feel like I'm guilty of that too. I feel like I'm guilty of that sometimes because like. I've been told that like when people do or say dumb stuff, like especially in like work meetings and stuff, I'm the person who like you have to look at and see what their face says to like make sure it's like, okay, so we both think this is stupid right now. Cause like I'll sit there and be like it's all I can't hide the emotions on my face. I'm like, this is this is like 18 different types of stupid right here, and I'm not okay with this. So I almost get Drew, but the face she made, I feel like it would have pissed me off a little bit too.
Oh yeah,
because I'm so hypocritical. I think I'm realizing how hypocritical I am.
You're hearing yourself. You're hearing yourself, and you're calling yourself out.
Yes.
No, you're not hypocritical because hypocritical people don't acknowledge they're hypocritical.
Boom. There we go.
Sheree's confessional is so funny because she's just like, she's over. She's like, just shut up. You talk too much. Like,
even the mom wants to beat your ass.
Like they're all just like, shut up. And then Drew's like, I feel like you're clout chasing. And then Sanya, I mean, it's a great soundbite. She's like, I'm a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. And that makes them love her. Like,
yes.
Like Kenya's like, that is my kind of read.
Mm-hmm. Read with facts. That's how you do it.
Like Kenya would love that because this is the group to do this in.
Right.
Like,
you have to, it's so amazing to like, when you can read somebody with the truth, that's what I call it, read them with the truth. That's the best way to do it. Like when you tell someone's like going in on you with like rumors that they heard, but you're like, yeah, but you and your husband's been cheating on you for so and so many years. It's like, ooh, we all know that, but you didn't have to say that out loud. Like, damn, that was a little bit of a low blow, but I kind of love it. It's okay. That was a Marlo right there. A Marlo Hampton.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. And so and then in the middle of this fight, they start cheersing over her saying, I'm a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. They're so proud of the shade.
Mm-hmm.
And because Drew is like, you know what? Actually, I don't want to be the only one fighting right now. Kenya, did you talk to Kandi about your issues with the sex toys? And I have to say, I cannot believe how much I'm loving Kenya this season because she maintained a smile throughout this whole thing. And Kandi, so there were so many good quotes in this back and forth. Yes. Kenya's like, people were zapping other people's vaginas. And then Mama Joyce comes in. She's like, well, you didn't want to wear it and I wouldn't want to wear it. Nobody controls my vagina but me. This is actual dialogue.
Can you imagine like the person like doing closed captions for Bravo reading this stuff? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, what show is this? What days does it come on? Because I'm thoroughly intrigued right now.
And then Kandi with the best read. She goes, the woman who played the lead in Twa, don't get prim and proper now. And for anyone watching this who doesn't know what Twa is, I will link the trailer for Twa, which is hilariously bad. It's like not a trailer. It's like before people knew how to edit. So it's like it doesn't have any transitions. It just goes like to black to the next shot, black to the next shot. It's very scandalous. And also though, it's like 20 plus years ago. Kenya's a mom now. Like, Kandi,
I watched this at a very young age too, by the way. I remember watching this movie like when did it come out? I remember like when that movie came out, like around when it was first starting. I was like, because I think we had it like on, that was back when we went to Blockbuster all the time. Yeah. So yeah, somebody in my house rented that movie and I was thoroughly entertained.
I mean, it's about a menage a trois.
Yes.
And that turns scandalous or something. And Kenya's doing a good job. Oh, that's so lovely.
The power of text message.
There we Kenya is keeping a smile on her face, though. She's just like having a good time with this little moment. She's like, this is our job, Kandi, where our job is to have a little stuff. And Kandi does not want any like freaky sex storylines to start for her. She's like, please do not let this become my narrative.
Do you think the Portia Phaedra of it all scarred her?
Yeah, she gets like freaked out if that, she's like, please, because she's like, wait, you talked to Drew about this, meaning you guys had a scene about this, meaning this could be my narrative. This is because they know how it gets pieced together and edited together when they tell the story.
They've been doing it a long time.
So she's like, fuck, then they already had that scene, meaning they're going to show that scene first before they show this scene. And then now this could become my storyline. Marlo's already said it a few times. You and your sex stuff, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I see how this is going. So she's panicked because she's getting heated.
I think? Yeah. Oh, Kandi was pissed. You know what I think? I think Kenya honestly laughed through that whole moment because I think she almost has kind of a respect for Drew, because I think that she respects her for like one, putting all her crap out there, because I think she knows how ridiculously Ralph comes across, but yet she still puts it all out there anyway. But I think she's like witnessing somebody become a great housewife, because she literally was like, okay, let me get the attention off of me and throw your ass under the bus. And so it was like, okay,
you're right.
It's like real recognize real. It's like, okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. So it's almost funny. So I'm gonna let it pass this time because you got me. I wasn't ready for this. I thought this was all about you and Sanya. I didn't expect to be thrown under the bus to have to fight Kandi, who I'm actually friends with in real life.
You're right, because she did. She was like, okay, since you're gonna pull me into this. And
right.
You're right. She did. She respected it. She's like, okay, that's the job. You did it. But then dumbass Marlo, she's like, she slept with half of Hollywood. I'm like, Marlo, I hate to say that Marlo just pulls stuff out of her ass, but she does. Because honestly, how does Marlo know?
Right.
You know, like Marlo's not connected in Hollywood in a real way, especially not back then to know. You know what I mean? You
know what shocked me in this moment? When you know, her and Kandi having their back and forth in Kandi's confessional, she's like, and we know what they've said about your past in Hollywood. I was like, Kandi, like you've never said that about Kandi. You've always been like, she isn't that kind of girl. She doesn't even like date rappers and all that kind of stuff. But it almost like, you know, she used to get mad at Nene about Mad Day, and it's almost like you've gotten to Mad Day and you kind of throwing some stuff out there. Oh, Kandi.
I just don't like. The whole thing about saying people slept their way through Hollywood is just a very silly accusation.
Very antiquated. It's like you can do a lot better than that. Like, read me with the truth. Like, don't read me with like a rumor you heard on like Lipstick Alley or something. Like, let's go like to some real stuff. Like, I feel like I've been in the tabloids enough so you can actually pull some crap about me. You've seen me go through a divorce. Pull some stuff about Mark, my mom. Like, there's plenty of material for you to work with, and you're choosing like random baseless rumors
from the 90s.
Right.
What does that have to do with now?
So weird.
You're right. It's just Mad Day bullshit, because guys, her career from the early days of acting has nothing to do with how she didn't want to wear a vibrating panty situation.
Right.
To go see a play about Black men in America. It actually didn't make any sense to go see that play. Like, I don't think you need to have vibrating panties for that.
Nah.
Right?
Kind of weird.
If they were going to like a club or something to go dancing all night, fine. But they were about to go see a play.
Very weird.
Right.
And it's like, what if someone pulled their phone out and started doing it in there? Like, it's kind of weird, right? I don't know about that.
So, and Kandi, you know, is like, she might have a point. So now she's freaking out. Right? And no, so when Mama Joyce says, I'm shocked that Keonce had a problem with it, it made me think of what you said about how Kenya's still like panicked over making fun of the Mama Joyce wig thing.
Right.
And so Kenya will never, ever, ever step out of line with Mama Joyce. She's just
No.
like, oh, okay. We're going to keep laughing.
That is a top tier housewife moment because you can tell like Kenya was like so in the moment of reading. Who was it again? Sheree. I think her and Sheree were going back and forth in that moment so much. Everyone else was just laughing and eating food. You can tell she had genuinely forgot that like Kandi was right there. So when she threw that Mama Joyce wig comment out there, Candy's like, hey, like I'm right here. Like, what are you doing? I love it.
Oh no, this is going to be on TV.
Right.
Mama
like,
Joyce
oops.
is going to get so mad.
No more OLG for me.
No more OLG. Okay, so we get a really great glimpse of Marlo's good side. And that Marlo does Glam It Up, which is a great organization she started to help out kids in foster care. Specifically girls in foster care, but I'm sure if boys wanted to join that were trans or whatever, you know what I'm saying, she would do anything. This is her big heart,
right?
That, you know, as much as Marlo can go so low and do such dirty trickery, she has this big heart because she comes from just a really tough upbringing. And she's still dealing with a lot when, you know, we see all the stuff with her sister play out. I mean, that is some real stress to be dealing with. And so we'll get into that. In the meantime, though, we go to Sanya's house. And did you catch how sick she sounded?
Oh, no, I didn't.
She sounded so stuffed up. And I was like, oh,
Kenya coughing everywhere.
She sounded so stuffed up, and I was like, oh, so sounds like Kenya shouldn't have been going to any events because she was sick.
Yeah. Coughing and spreading germs everywhere, especially if where you're cooking food, right?
Kenya should have been behind the door watching them cook food, and like she shouldn't have been there, okay?
No, it would have stressed me out. Every time she coughed, it would have stressed me out.
And she like, okay, you gotta coughing go. This whole episode. I'm like, can we get her out of this situation, guys?
Or like, a Hall's cough drop or something. Like we
put a
need
mask
something.
On her. Like I am losing my mind.
Yes. And we've never seen a wig this bad either. So this is like not true Kenya Moore fashion. So you gotta give yourself some time to heal at some point. It's not
it's stressing me out.
Yes, I'm stressed.
Okay, so this scene is just her family hyping her up. Like they're obviously all Team Sanya, so we don't need to say much about it. But Marlo, she's done with her speech, and Drew calls her. This scene is actually really hilarious. And Marlo, again, she's harping on this because she is determined to either take Kenya or it's a Kenya and or Kandi down. Like it's one or she wants both of them, but it's at least Kandi. She at least needs Kandi.
You got to have a backup. Yeah, I feel you. You got to have a backup.
If she can get both, great. But it's at least Kandi. So she's like, I mean, how is Kenya there now? And she couldn't be there for Sheree's event. And why is Sanya sticking up for her? And Drew's like, you know what? Why is she choosing to side with them over me? Which is really making me think, like, were they really friends then? Because I thought this was like one of those fake production things, but it's really seeming like maybe they were friends.
It's weird.
Right?
It's all weird because it's funny that like nowadays you genuinely don't know how it is with housewives because like you have really have to like wait. I need to see like if they don't do like the throwback photos when they introduce the character, then I don't believe it. Like, I need to see y'all from at least like 3 years ago, and then I'll believe it. I don't know if we got that with them this season.
That's the evidence. We need that throwback photo of you guys at some event way before this started.
Right.
Then we believe it. But if you don't have that,
it's a no-go.
I don't believe it. Marlo goes, Drew, you were making faces at that girl, though. We need that to be clear.
Yes.
And so Marlo's like, but to wrap this conversation up on camera, I'm the most upset at Kandi. So we're all clear.
Right.
She could have taken Sheree out to OLG. She's like the queen of Atlanta. Like she didn't even reach out. just really making sure Kandi gets this narrative.
Right. It's being pushed. It's being pushed hard. It's Marlo. I don't know if it's kind of funny that these are the victims that she chose. Maybe she felt more comfortable going after them because she's been filming with them for so long. But you would think that like naturally someone would like, maybe we're so used to like Vicky Gunvalson and like, you know, when someone comes on, you're mean to the new girl. You're so used to that. But like Kenya's like, I mean, Marlo's like, no, I'll be mean to the people I know. Like, that's fine. I'm mean to my besties. That's okay.
And I kind of think we see that. But I think you're right about that because then later she almost says that. Well, we'll see it. So Sheree's therapy session, though. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out, though. Hold on. I feel like this might be a hot take. The way she was drinking that tea, I feel like she might be acting.
Really?
Yes.
What? Okay. Enlighten me. Acting how?
Okay. I'm going to try to recreate it. She was just kind of, it was kind of like she knew he was going to say what he was going to say because he's a therapist. And she was just sort of listening to him with no intention of really listening to him.
Right.
And then when he was like, are you going to stop seeing him? She was like, I was like, wait a fucking second.
Like that should be an easy decision, right?
And then it was like kind of all a setup for her to say, I'm going to get into She by Sheree. And I was like, listen, if this was, I'm not mad at her.
Right.
Because
I see it.
She needs a storyline.
Yeah. I mean, we like a busy season. So yeah.
And if she did find out, like, yeah, dude, he didn't just stand you up. If production was like, okay, Sheree, we have to tell you something. We did know that he couldn't film.
Oh.
And she'll be like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, we weren't quite sure. And like, it turns out he couldn't film. So he was probably more mad at us. So,
yeah, I could do ski.
And she's like, well, what do I do now? They're like, I mean, you have a couple options. You can maintain that he just broke your heart and keep this going because he kind of did.
For your sake, right?
Yeah. Or I don't know, you tell us. And she's like, okay, we'll just keep this going. And then, and then I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to throw myself into work and pick up She by Sheree. And they're like, brilliant.
Right. Iconic.
So
historic. We love it.
Then she's like, She by Sheree has been a mess. And then they show the 2008 ad with the like soft focus filter. And it's like, She by Sheree. I forgot about that thing.
It should be forgotten about. So yeah. Yeah.
Whew. Whew. I mean,
She by Sheree. I was gonna say it came a long way, but has it?
I also forgot just how bad her answer was when Andy was like, so She by Sheree, and she just goes, joggers.
Right. He
what?
goes, excuse me? Excuse me?
What is joggers what? She's like, they're just joggers. What is joggers? I don't know what you're talking about.
What are we having the same conversation right now? Like, what are we talking about right now?
And then the whole spring, September, summer, whatever. It's like, oh, girl, that was worse than I remembered, actually.
Yeah. A little embarrassing.
It was
Kandi got chewed up in the process too, which was kind of hilarious.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Kandi is cleaning out her closet, and I loved Todd dragging her for like all the bad fashions. Like he's like, what is this jacket? Like she's like, that's fly. He's like, no.
Right.
And so as much as I know, like I'm not like siding with Marlo or anything like that, but I get what Marlo is saying in that it's not like these were like all of Kandi's designer things that she was like, I've only worn these once. I was going to give them away. They're in pristine condition. It was literally like the bags I take to Goodwill. That was what they were.
Right.
And so Marlo's like, no, like that's not what I do. Like, and she
Right.
was seemingly rude about it, and it was on camera. And so it was like, ooh, this isn't good.
This is absolutely coming up at the reunion. Like people are gonna write in about that. Oh yeah, it's coming up because there's a way to do everything. Like the way my mind works, immediately when Kandi like would offer me the clothes, I would be like, oh my God, that's so sweet. My charity in particular, we actually only go through, so-and-so, like a different vendor, but I have an amazing contact at Dress for Success. They're always asking for clothes. Will definitely get you in touch with them. They would love to have those pieces, especially when it's coming from Kandi Burruss. Like, they'll love it, darling. There's a way to do it. Marlo has no tact at all. Marlo has no couth at all in any situation. So yeah, even though I get what she was saying, but I also get the other side of where Kenya's like, you're instilling the wrong values. Like, that shouldn't be what it's about. Then it's also like, well, they want to feel good. I don't, it's
like,
I don't know.
I fully understand Marlo because she's coming from such a hurt place from her whole life and all this stuff, but you can't make Kandi feel stupid.
Right.
Like she did. She made her feel stupid. And it's like, well,
you have a charity. I'm trying to donate. What's not adding up? Like, I don't get it.
I do love, though, that after Kandi hangs up, Todd's like, let's see what else you're going to give these girls. And he's like, oh, yeah, they would really want this, Kandi. Like, he didn't make her feel any better.
Right. He's kind of like, Marlo said the right thing.
Yeah. Like, he kind of he justified Marlo's shame.
Right.
All right. Kenya and Sheree, they have lunch. And how bad did you want a womlet?
I want one right now. Like, I've been thinking about it since Sunday. Like, I genuinely want a womlet. I don't know what restaurant they were at, but I'm going to rewind the scene and find it because
give me a womlet.
I want a womlet right now. And it's literally just an omelet in the shape of a waffle, but I want a womlet.
Give it to me
right now. I
want
it.
Like, they did such a good job. Like, what's a womlet? We're like, yeah, what's a womlet?
Right. And Sheree, of course, Sheree's the best food saleswoman on the planet. So she's coming, she's like, it's really good. So you should get one. Kenya's like, I'll have what she's having. Right.
Sheree is the go-to advertiser for food this season.
Yes. I love it. I saw someone bought like those exact sea salt Lay's potato chips on Instagram. Like, right, they were like, I had to get them. Like, there was one bag left in the store. Like, I couldn't just leave them there. I had to get these. Like, my mouth's been watering for like 2 weeks now for over those damn potato chips.
He nailed it.
Yeah.
I hope she gets a whole partnership with Lay's. Like, let's do it.
I would love that for her.
God,
I would love that. I want her. Matter of fact, let's manifest this. February 2023, while we're watching the Super Bowl, Sheree Whitfield pops up in one of those $1 million ads, and she's chewing on Lay's sea salt potato chips. And Kenya Moore comes in to like tackle her because it's a football ad. I don't know. And they fight over the potato chips, but they end up sharing them because hashtag sisterhood. Like, we don't know. It can be a whole thing. Like, I want all of that for her. I want that.
And then a cameo from the whole cast.
Yes.
Oh my God. And maybe Nene pops in real quick.
Yes. How you doing about them? Yes. I said what I said. I want a potato chip. Yeah.
Okay, we got
We'll make that work. There we go.
There we go. I feel that. That felt good.
It did.
That felt really good.
Manifestation.
That felt right. I saw it.
Bloop. I know. I see it. I see it now. What hairstyle did you envision her having when you saw it?
The problem was I can't get that 2008 ad out of my head, so I just saw that.
Why did I picture her with that super hot ponytail that she has in that confessional? That Elvira look. I don't know what that is, but I pictured her in that for some reason.
I love that she's thrown shade at her own self for that look. Like, she has admitted that she's like, this isn't what I wanted.
I love it. They're always like so on point with hair and makeup and fashion that, like, even Kenya in this episode, she had to admit, she was like,
I know
it's a bad one. Yeah, I know. I know.
I was really mad at. Okay, we'll get there. I was disappointed in Marlo. I love Kenya being honest. She's like, my business is suffering due to my own personal problems. I didn't get the samples to Walmart because China's shipments are all backed up. And I was like, way to go. Way to talk about it.
And
Whether or not this is just for camera, but
right. But it rings true because a million other businesses that are affected by COVID, they're probably shaking their head like, yeah. I had a cousin that like had a house built. Of course, it was happening during COVID, and it's like, geez, I didn't want that to happen. But they had that being built, and like it took so long because it was so hard getting labor. I mean, lumber and like different parts and different like a tub, and it's so hard getting that stuff shipped in because of all the COVID restrictions that it's absolutely crazy. So as soon as she said that, I'm like, I'm sure it's ridiculous trying to get stuff in from China so that you can actually like put it on the shelves.
right.
I see it.
I like how Sheree goes, the problem I had when I was doing She by Sheree is all the business partners ended up wanting to be romantically involved.
It's like, was that the problem, or
like,
did you not have clothes? Which one was it?
I was a little, all right. Okay,
Yeah,
sure, Sheree.
Right, but we believe women, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we believe women. There we go.
We'll go with that.
And so here goes Kenya coughing, and Sheree's like, "Oh, you're still sick?" I'm like, "Yes, she is sick."
Right, she's been sick for a month of episodes now.
I mean, come on.
Sheesh.
And so Kenya goes off, and she's like, "Marlo is accusing me of lying about being sick," but then in her confessional, she goes, "Because I look better sick than she looks on her best day."
Right. Come on, Shade. Come
Well
on,
done.
Shade.
Well done. And
it.
then I hate that Sheree's like, I thought Drew got all those things. And Kenya's like, I got all those things. And Drew just came and picked them up from my house and brought them there. I would be so pissed off if I was Kenya. Oh, it would be infuriating. Like, I got all the things and then she came and just dropped them off. And like,
Right.
And so Kenya's got Marlo's game. She's figured it out. Marlo's working overtime to make people think that I'm a liar and I'm not a good friend. And she's like, okay, I got it. Like, I see what she's doing. I'm a target. That's what she's going to try to do this season.
Yeah,
Right,
it's coming.
so
it's coming tenfold.
And so, of course, the first people to arrive to girls' night are Sanya and Drew. And that's uncomfortable.
Awkward.
Oh, God. But thankfully, Marlo arrives. But then we get all the news about her sister. And this is fantastic to get this sort of representation on a show like Real Housewives of Atlanta, because we don't normally get this on Bravo. No, we don't ever get this on Bravo because it's not normally the demographic that we deal with, because yeah, to be fair, you don't see it with wealthy women a lot.
Right.
To be honest, and her sister is struggling with mental health, and it's to the point where like she needs to be completely 5150, like in a facility. But unfortunately, she's got, legal issues now. She's been arrested, which is why the thing is we handle substance abuse the wrong way. We criminalize it. So we arrest people and then they have charges and then they have to deal with that. But then they go in front of a judge and the judge is like, well, legally I'm supposed to like do something that's know, but it's all handled wrong. So it's horrible because you can see the stress on Marlo's face. It's real stress. It's dark stress. It's not, white collar problems. It's not campaign problems. It's like real.
It's the highly like stigmatized stuff that we don't talk about.
Exactly. So I love that she's talking about it on this platform.
Yes.
Because it's why when we talk about reform, people don't usually get what we're talking about. It's this type of shit.
Right.
It's the stuff we don't normally see. And her poor nephews, like this is their mom. I feel so bad for them. Oh, that last scene. Oh, so she's dealing with that. And so it's such a dichotomy of worlds that she then comes to this world of like glamorous women. And she also tries to keep this facade up that she's glamour and a millionaire and all this stuff. And she's got that, she's Marlo. It's sort of why she's so crazy. But she switches right into gear. As soon as Kenya shows up, she's right on it. She's like, you look great, Kenya. Wow, you look amazing. Because she has to point out that Kenya looks just fine.
Right.
It's like, God damn.
No break. No break at all. Didn't even take a moment to tell Kenya about I just updated them about my sister. She's like, nope, let's get right to it.
Zoning right in.
This is why we're here today. Let's do it.
And then they go to sit at the table and Marlo immediately tells the ladies about Kandi trying to give hand-me-downs to the girls at her charity. But Kenya clocks what she's doing and tries to shut it down. She's like, don't vilify someone for trying to donate and do something good, just like you did for me trying to be sick. Like she catches it. She's like, I see what you're doing. You're coming for Kandi. You're coming for me. And Marlo I feel like Marlo recognizes, she's like, okay, this is a weak argument I do have for Kenya. She's like, no, sometimes you need to show up. And Kenya goes, it's not landing, baby. Your comprehension is very off. And Marlo goes, no, that wig is very off.
Oh boy.
I felt really bad for Kenya though, because you could tell Kenya got so uncomfortable. She kind of turned her head. She was like, it is off. It is, because I had to rush to get here. It's a mess. And I was like, she is sick. Give her a minute.
I love that she owned it, because it was one of those things where you're not gonna point it out unless someone else points it out. Because when the scene came on, I was like,
I did too. I was like, this is not the normal Kenya.
Right. I'm like, something is off. Like that's not Kenya Moore hair care. I don't know what's happening, but it's okay. I'll go past it. She looks great anyway. But then when Marlo points it out, it's kind of like, oh, you see it too. Okay. Oh, wow. All righty. But I loved it. It could have went so bad because she could have denied it, or she could have, she could have did a million different things, like retaliated. But she's like, no, I know it's messed up. I'll have a mirror. It's okay. I know it's effed up. Don't worry about it. But you're still a horrible person, Marlo.
This is a whole new Kenya. I love this Kenya. I just love her. I can't believe I'm saying that. I used to loathe Kenya, but she has she's evolved so much.
We've seen it. Yeah. A full decade of evolution with her. Because Kenya, Portia has always historically been my favorite on Atlanta. I just love Portia. And her and Kenya were always at odds. And I used to feel like Kenya was such a bully, in her early seasons, for no reason, always and I hated it because they would she would go to the reunions and try to act like she defends the gay community and stuff. But it's you called Cordell gay so many times, and Portia was his beard and all this stuff. And we're just acting like that never happened. So she was such a bully for so long. She bullied Kim Fields, and it just kept going. It was so bad. But she has truly, in the past couple of seasons, she's really made her value known on this show, shrewdly. Top tier housewife. And I love that, this season, she's okay, Nene's gone, Portia's gone. I have a real opportunity here to be
the fan favorite.
Yes, I have a real opportunity here. And she's playing her cards perfectly so far. She knows, okay, I can either be the villain, or I can let them see how much of a villain Marlo has always been. Keep in mind, every time she does something to her, she knows that people are going to get online and be like, oh, you remember when she said that about her mom? Oh, you remember this when she did that to Kenya and stuff like that. So Kenya's playing this perfectly this season. She gives a shade when she needs to. She gives a read when she needs to. But then she's like, nope, I'm going to let you bury yourself. You got it. Bloop.
Mwah. Mwah. Because Marlo realizes in that moment that she's I have lost. She puts her sword down. She goes, listen, the thing is with Kenya, there's always love. There's always love there. When, even when she called and she said she wasn't feeling well, we hung up and I did message her, how are you feeling? In other words, the translation of that is, off camera, I was like, hey, are you feeling better? Like,
right.
I'm just basically, she's saying what you were, it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier. I know how to volley with these people on camera because that's what this is. This is a show. But then she's like, but Kandi.
Right. Trying to give me old clothes. Like, well,
we're not done because Sheree is ready to, Sheree's got it. Marlo and Sheree were like, we are coming for Kandi. Kenya will try, but Kandi definitely. She's been coasting along for too many years.
They're making her earn that peach. That peach is being earned this season.
We are so she's still harping on this. She's like, she knew about Tyrone and she didn't reach out. Do you want a friend like that? Do you want a friend like that? I don't think you do.
Sanya's like, nope, I don't. But it's like, you're gonna be smiling with Kandi like next. Oh God.
And here we go.
Oh,
like there was already enough in this episode, but then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that Drew and Sanya have to fight. Like there was already enough going on, and I was like, oh yay, we still have this.
Start to finish.
It's such a joy to watch this season.
Yes.
And so Sanya's like, okay, guys, now that I'm being friends with you now, I feel bad about not inviting you to the Mommy Nation shoot. So only you guys, not Drew, are invited to Portland. And then as she's telling them about it, Drew's like, wait, you invited me to that too. And Sanya knows she did, but she's like, so she immediately goes to a 10 and she's like, Drew, you are driving me crazy. I don't like when you overtalk me. And then you brought up me not paying your artist. I pay all my bills. And then Drew's like, but you don't.
Right.
25 again, it's $25. And then she's like, what you're not going to do is go from 0 to 1,000. You're unstable.
Oh, jeez. The whole time, Kenya's tugging the chair away, trying to get her away from.
My favorite thing about fights on Atlanta and on Potomac is when they know the people that know when they need to just step in the middle.
Yes.
And so Sheree gets up like, oh, hold on, let me get over here. And Kenya's like, hold on.
Right.
So like, they just know the exact moment, like, all right, hold on. Let's just make sure.
That's why I love episode 3 of this season, Brooklyn's birthday party. I love I don't know what, every single day, there hasn't been a day gone by since that episode is aired that I haven't said, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Every day. I love that moment because nobody knew how that was about to go. So they were all just standing around watching, like, what the hell is happening right now? But then when they started getting close to each other, everyone's like, no, wait a minute.
No.
Like, wait a minute, let's calm down.
We know what happens when hands do that. That's not so as soon as you say you're unstable, you know they're like that. We've now done that. And so
we've landed.
Sanya's like, you're unstable. But then she looks at Marlo and she's like, I told her about the trip a while back before I knew about. And then she's like, you know what? I'm not going to tell you anything. You're being phony. And then Drew's like, you're being phony. And then Sanya goes, I'm being Sanya.
Like, what does that even mean? What? You just got Ross, didn't? Like, what does this mean? What happened?
I mean, but then in the middle of all this, Drew, I had to rewind it. She's like, if you take one piece of advice from me, always be true to yourself.
I think the reason I like Drew so much is because she feels like such a random placement on this show. It's just like, one, what are you talking about? And two, what planet did you come from to be here? Like, how did you get here? Who approved this mission? What is happening? All the time.
God. So Drew gets pulled away and Sanya right away is like, Drew is whack. She's so whack. I'm like, okay, I put this on Instagram, but I swear Sanya and Monique remind me of each other because Monique, when she would get so heated, but then as soon as she was done, like as soon as everything was pulled apart, she'd be like, wow, that person was crazy. I'm like, you were crazy too, though.
Right. I didn't catch that comparison until you brought it up, and I was like, "Ooh, that kind of tracks right there. That kind of
like you may have reason to get heated. Like I'm like, I get it. Drew's super annoying, and like it's hard to like not get annoyed with her, but you got real hyped up. And so as soon as the fight is broken up, you're like, aren't they nuts? I'm like, okay, but like you don't recognize that you okay. But,
right.
Like, you did a lot.
Right.
And then Sanya in her confessional is like, she needs to learn how to communicate in a civil way.
Right.
So do you.
Right.
And then so
this
like,
ain't been very civil.
But then, like you said, they're both the worst communicators. So then Drew and Kenya talk, and Kenya's trying to explain to her why it got heated up. She's like, you cut her off. And Drew's like, I thought I was listening.
What existence are you in? Like, honestly, why would you think that?
But she's comedy, though. She's walking out. She's like, I'm not going to Portland. She has uninvited me for the last time.
That's like the equivalent of, I've been thrown out of better homes than this.
Yes. It's comedy.
Pure comedy.
Unfortunately, I have to end this on the sad note, which is Marlo FaceTimes with her sister. Mm-hmm. And because she is not properly medicated and getting the help she needs, when she sees Marlo, she freaks out, throws a chair, and isn't able to hear any logic behind it. And because she just wants to get out. And they won't let her out. It's going to be an inpatient. And so the boys aren't even able to talk to her. It's heartbreaking.
It is. It's a lot. I was actually sobbing. I got a little like uneasy and nervous during this scene because I hated the notion of when Marlo said like earlier to the ladies, she said, I think it'll be a good idea if I have the boys there to talk to their mom to kind of like, maybe they'll convince her. And I was like, oh, I don't know how that's going to go because one, they might see like how bad of a condition she's in currently. And that's probably going to upset them. And then two, what if they like, bawled her eyes out and like give her all of this, pleading with her, asking her to like do them this favor. And she still doesn't like that. It felt like that was going to be a lose-lose situation regardless. And I was like, oh, I would hate that for those boys. Like they're literally just trying to recover in life. So it's, I was
bawling. I was really annoyed because I just put on all my eye cream. I hate when that happens. It's a waste of product.
Right.
I was just not anticipating crying so much watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, but it's right. It becomes such a heavy thing because it's like it's like a bigger thing. It's like, it's just then the system. And then like, how does this happens all the time? Like it just became like such a big thing. So I'm glad that we can have this conversation eventually, like at the reunion, they'll be able to talk about it. And it's a conversation because I'll tell you one thing, when Luann was arrested, they really missed way too many opportunities to talk about how fucking lucky she was. Because they never once mentioned her privilege.
Ever.
But
look who she was sitting on stage with, like delusion at its best. So
I could not believe not one of those people were like, well, you're lucky because you weren't caught in the system. She kept saying, I found out what it's like to be caught in the system. I'm like, you weren't caught in the system.
You literally like drove by the system, waved, and then drove back off to your house.
And then you kept giving it the middle finger by violating your probation over and over again. And then having your fans
assaulted a cop.
And then and threatened them, got out of hand. Like you would have been dead if you were black. Okay.
Exactly.
Like not once did you acknowledge that.
Right.
And again, let's put it this way. Maybe you didn't die there. You violated your probation so many times and never spent one single day in jail.
Hello.
Hi. And then she went and spoke at the Fortune Society in front of people that had been serving like 25-year sentences saying, I'm here today to show you that you can change your life. Honey, I can't.
Brony is the most out of touch show I have ever watched in my life. Like, good Lord.
So I'm glad that we are actually getting a true glimpse of what this is like so that we can finally have the proper dialogue when the reunion comes around, because it is about damn time.
Yes. Agreed.
All right, but again, another great, fantastic episode. Like,
yes.
Truly top tier television. Bravo to the ladies.
We're loving the season.
Loving the season.
Yeah. And next week looks like it's going to be like 3 times as because this
Kenya
was like
and Marlo.
This was like 4 trailer moments like in one episode. So it's like, sheesh, like let's do it.
Are you like me? Are you like me where you feel like when you see a trailer moment, you're like, oh, that was from the trailer.
Yes.
I get so excited.
Because if it's in the trailer, you're thinking like, okay, it's got to be good. Like this has got to be a good, but they can only show us like a second of it. So it's got to be like 10 more moments of amazingness. I'm ready.
You're like, this is it. This was the thing in the trailer. We know it's perfect.
That's it. Oh, that's the guy. It's like Leonardo on the couch. Like, oh,
yes,
that's it.
That's him. I know. It's so exciting. All right. Well, that wraps us up for the night. Tell everyone where they can find you, Kendrick.
Of course. You can follow me on Instagram at realitycomics2, TOO. And you can find my podcast everywhere you find Emily's podcast. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, all of the places. Reality and Comics 2. Or you can just search my name, Kendrick Tucker.
Yes, you can. All right, guys. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.